Hello, Watem here. Welcome back to some more Umineko When Seagulls Cry. Just before we begin, I have had a quick little refresher on Nox's rules for mysteries, and he very explicitly specifies no more than one secret passage or room. So one would be allowed, and so we need to keep asking until we get that one. My other favourite part of it is the don't be racist rule. That's always a good one. Anyway, let's continue.
人間の心を操るのに本当に長けている。私ももっとあなたを応援しないとまずいわね。
お前らなど知ったことじゃない。
So I had been thinking that the new character that we saw in the second part was Ben Castell, but as one of the commenters pointed out, pull it up, it's Lambda Delta's world, in effect. Like she's the game master in control of the game world. So what might be happening is that she's introduced a character to play the role of detective that Ben Castell would love so much, but then showing that it has to be this one person, but then pulling the rug out and still continuing the murders. That's my potential thoughts. Maybe. John Smith. But yeah, anyway, moving on.
消えろ。これは俺とベアとのゲームだ。お前たちに私はしない。
Look at you all selfish.
嫌よ。
何？
だって。
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
私もこのゲーム楽しんでるんだもの。
Ben Castell disappeared, leaving only that unpleasant laugh behind. After that, all that remained was Natsuhi, sipping tea all alone. Beato, her hand still on the teacup as she stared blankly at the surface of the liquid, and me.
ベルンカステルにラムダデルタか。ワルギリアはお前の友人と言ってたが、お前友人は選ぶべきだったな。
Yes.
いや、むしろ性悪なお前にはお似合いなのか。
Silence. Beato didn't answer. Battler took Beato's hand, made her hold the cup again, and brought it to her lips. Beato made a quiet sound in her throat and drank another gulp. Then Natsuhi's lonely tea time ended. That truth, which was Natsuhi's alone, observed by no one else, had been defiled. Natsuhi's world, surely. That tea party, which had been peaceful despite her annoyance at Beato for making fun of her too much, came to an end, and the two of them parted ways. However, Natsuhi's exposed truth. She was all alone. Natsui tottered away. On the bench, only a single person's cup remained. Doctrine Barrier. Name? After dashing to her bedroom, Jessica answered a phone call that had been transferred there.
ああ、もしもしお待たせ
From who?
バートラー、
Oh.
6年も音沙汰なしとはどういうつもりだ久しぶりだな。お、そうなのか？知るかよそんなの。うぜえぜじゃあ今年の親族会議はちゃんと来るわけだろ？ 6 年ぶりだな。
5 businessmen in expensive suits were visiting in the parlor, giving Kraus and Natsui a progress report on their business. Not going well enough? Spread out on the table were the blueprints and designs for a building, as well as documents related to expenditure and the like. So I remember previously, because I wasn't that long ago that I went through the editing and all that, that the idea was a tower. Now, I don't know if this is necessarily the tower, but I do remember hearing about, what was it? I think, yeah, 92, it's a different tower. No. Basically, middle of, I think it was a bubble for real estate in Tokyo, where it actually made economic sense to buy out a city lot and then just build a massive tower. Basically, a city by itself in the tower, but would need its own, like, fire department just for the tower. I think the city was in, even because people were actually looking into it and it made economic sense for how expensive land was at the time. They were actually looking into, like, what kind of drills they would need to do for fire departments and how that would actually work. And then the bubble popped, so yeah, they didn't really need to build a tower anymore. Don't remember what it was called. Anyway, I'm wondering if maybe this is a similar situation, because I don't remember when that bubble popped as well. If maybe Kraus is having a similar idea of building the tower, but then maybe a smaller tower, perhaps, but then running into the issue of he's purchased the land and now it isn't worth as much. Or started building the tower and now there isn't as much demand for it. Spread on the table of blueprints and designs for a building, as well as documents related to expenditures and the like, so packed that even a teacup would have gotten in the way. Officially, they were here to give Kraus a progress report. But in actuality, Kraus had called them all the way over to Rokkanjima so that Natsui could hear from them directly. This was because Natsui needed to hear someone other than her husband to explain what condition their business was in. In other words, even though another family conference about Kinzo was approaching, their business had not yet earned them any money. After telling the guests to wait for a short while, Kraus took Natsui out into the hall and once again summarized the situation.
つまり、我々の想像をはるかに超えて、事業は素晴らしくうまくいっていると彼らは言っているのだ。
I doubt that, but also expecting a return on investment on a tower in 2 years is beyond ridiculous.
ここで私と知事との私的なコネクションが大きく効いてきた。もはや絶対に釣り落とすことはない。それどころか、例の委任状だけでなく、 これまでの損失さえも一気に取り戻すことが可能なくらいの大きな話になりつつあるのだ。
Somehow, I doubt it. Kraus spoke passionately. I do wonder what Natsuhi's take on it all is, if it's just empty words, perhaps. This made it seem all the more suspicious to Natsuhi. For this time at least, she had to admit that everything really did seem to be going well. Certainly, this business Kraus boasted of has expanded in scope over the last year. Oh, yes. I am familiar with that with projects. It was promising an even greater payoff than had been anticipated initially. Whether it would prove to be a winner or not, investors had gathered around it, and they were rapidly gaining funds. This must be what they mean when they say money summons money. Maybe. It was probably the greatest success of Kraus's life so far. It's not where I'd immediately think of for money begets money, but I guess, yeah, people invest in it. Other people see that as having confidence in it, and so place their own confidence in it, and so you can expand that way. No, it probably would be his greatest success yet, if it happens. That point was where Natsui's misgivings lay. True, it was certain, and as Kraus had said, they wouldn't lose this catch now. However, fish on the line had gotten too big.
必ず釣り上げられる魚だ。何も焦る必要はないのだよ。親父が生きていたなら、ぜひ見せて誇りたいほどの大成功なのだ。
Maybe not so loud on that last part.
ええ、それは分かっています。ですがあなたは昨年、私に約束したはずです。必ず1年で何とかできると。
The pained look rose to Kraus's face. They certainly had hooked a fat fish that guaranteed great success. However, it would require an appropriate amount of time to reel it in. Natsui pressed Kraus, asking if there was any way for them to make money before this year's family conference. Kraus kept saying that he needed just one more year. And since Jessica's received a call from Battler, I don't think we get more than that 1 year. Kraus planned to use this unprecedented success to catapult them into further challenges in the future. Because of this, he didn't want to do anything that would raise suspicions by making it seem like they were rushing to get money. Certainly, fortune tends to turn against people who take it for granted, even in the slightest. I also can't help but think that even if they do have a success, Kraus will then just go ahead and spend all the money again on failed investments. Yeah. Anxious beggars never prosper. On many occasions before now, Kraus had gone cold feet and sold off businesses that would surely have brought in a profit had he just waited, and had, in effect, given away his winning picks. Natsui also knew this. She knew that guts were the thing her husband lacked most. That's why she was unable to refuse when Kraus said he wanted to prudently wait just one more year. That doesn't sound like him at all.
ということはどうやら私はもうしばらくここで幽霊を続けねばならぬようだな。
まんざらでもなかろうが、そなたの命などこの世を去ればすぐに悪魔どもに食い尽くされる運命よ。
申し訳ありません、お父様。また今年もお父様にはお休みいただけないかもしれません。
よい、気にするな夏日。後ろ宮家当主はすでに私ではない。 書斎の幽霊はおとなしく現在の当主の命令に従うべきだ。クラウスの資料は読ませてもらったが、なかなかに悪くない。
お父様からご覧になってもですか？
わらわから見てもなかなかのものよ。誰もが勝利を確信し、相当の魔力が集中している。その結果、さらに勝利が熱くなり、ますますに人と魔力を集め黄金を生み出そうとしている。錬金術の王道を見事に体現しているぞ。
ほう、黄金の魔女の太鼓判までつくなら、これは心強い。喜べ夏日。このクラウスの事業は必ずや後ろ宮家の危機を救うだろう。
ありがとうございます。そしてそのためにまた。
もう一度親族会議を乗り越えねばならんな。
How will we do this? I feel like then we'll just go to Beatrice going, have you considered murder?
ええ、昨年はうまくやり過ごせたつもりですが、不審に思う親族も現れるでしょう。今年は正念場になると思います。
去年の親族会議の時、
Dr. Nanjo said that he only had a few months left.
ひょっとしたらもう一度同じことになるかもしれぬと予見したそなたは正しかったな。
最悪のケースを想定するのは魔女ならずとも世渡りの基本だ。それで今年はどうする？
去年同様、会議当日はお父様の秘密を知る使用人を集中的に配置します。お父様の不在を気取る親族もすでにいるかもしれません。不用意な演出はむしろ馬脚を表す危険性もあります。
過ぎたるは及ばざるがごとしとも言う。なればどうする？
今年は昨年とは逆に最後まで書斎をお出にならないという筋書きでいこうと思います。
それがよかろうな。籠城は単純にして最後の切り札だ。
どれほど屋敷が毒素に満ちようとも、この部屋を密室結界に閉ざす限り、金蔵の存在を否定することはできぬ。
That's what the closed dream barrier the chapter was referring to as.
それはわらわも保証する。だが、籠城すれば囲まれるは必至。
承知しています。それでも何とぞもう一度だけお父様とベアトリーチェの力をお貸しください。
私は新しき当主の命令には逆らえぬ。そして幽霊もまた聖者の命令には逆らえぬしな。この部屋から出るなというのであればそれに従おう。
More time with Beatrice?
ありがとうございます。
わらわは嫌だぞ。力を貸せと願われても願いごときでは聞いてやれぬ。
You speak command?
ええ、あなたは顧問錬金術師ですから貸せと願いません。貸しなさいと命じます。あなたの魔法だけが頼りです。その力でもう一度だけお父様の幻想を。
ならばよし、心得たぞ。そなたの貫禄なかなかに心地よし。
From the shadows of the study, Battler watched the exchange between these three.
なるほどな。 そして、今年の親族会議を迎えるわけだ。じいさまは不機嫌だからと書斎に閉じこもり、誰の前にも姿を現さない。
Natsui spoke boldly about how she would somehow overcome the CS crisis and protect the Ishimiya family's honor until the end. While Kinzo praised her, saying that her plan looked promising. Beto also praised her, saying that Natsui's dignified confidence was even more well suited for their headship than Krause's. However, right now, the true number of people in this room was 1. The moment I thought that, no, just because I thought it, Beto grabbed at her chest and moaned.
安心しろ。ここはゲーム版のまだ外だ。だから俺はそこにいるお前やじいさまを否定はしない。
Put my hand on Beato's as she tried to hold back the pain deep inside her chest. I've already told Bernkastel. The 2-day period of the 1986 family conference is all I need to deny the illusion of the witch. I'm also thinking maybe, with the, not Bernkastel that appears, maybe that's, like, the solution she comes across with it being Natsui, maybe that definitely feels like a red herring?
お前は前回、全ゲームの開始時にじいさまが死んでることを赤で宣言した。しかし、ゲーム開始以前のじいさまの生死については言及していない。
Okay, so again, because of editing, I have just recently heard that and said, technically, he could be alive.
つまり、今この場にじいさまが存在していても、何の矛盾もないってわけだ。
My hand touching her let off a faint blue light, which seeped into her chest. That light tenderly wrapped itself around the splinters and bared her chest.
そして、この場にいるベアトリーチェの存在だって否定することはできない。ゲーム版の外、すなわち1986年10月4日以前の島の人数については赤で宣言されていないんだ。
Very true.
だから、ここにベアトリーチェが存在しても何もおかしいことはない。
There is something strange about it, but oh well. Beato's expression softened slightly. My blue light slowly began to melt red splinters that denied the illusion of the witch. Oh. Her eyes have gone back to being dead. Beato still wore the same sad expression, but she lifted her face and looked me straight in the eye. Though she was silent, her eyes told me that her pain had subsided. The feelings that showed in her eyes were gratitude for taking the pain away, and appreciation, or was it surprise, leaving even a tiny bit of leeway for witches to exist. Unable to look directly at those pure eyes of hers, I reflexively averted my gaze.
誤解すんなよ。
Okay, Sundra.
魔女の存在を認めたり、あるいは屈したつもりもねえ。俺はお前とのゲームに勝つために、その部分だけに徹して、ストイックに戦いたいってわけだぜ。ゲーム版の外でまで嫌がらせをするほど趣味は悪くねえからな。
Beato hung her head. I was still facing away from her. However, we waited wordlessly for a while, my hand still on hers. By now, no one would believe that this sad-eyed woman, same person as that prideful Beato. So, I asked once more. Though I said it aloud, it wasn't a question to her. I was asking myself.
お前は一体何を考えていたんだ？
About what?
そうさ。俺はラムダデルタのゲームを通じてでもお前を探さなくちゃならない。お前が何を考え、何をしようとしていたのかもな。
Very soon, this game will also reach October 4th, 1986. The fifth game will finally begin, and this time, I'll reach the end. The end of that journey.
殺人がとか、トリックがとか、そういう上辺だけじゃない。お前が、黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェが、何を考え何のためにそうしたのか。何を望んでいたのか。それを、たどる。
That's right. I already know how I can reach the end of that journey. It's been made clear to me since the very beginning.
今こそチェス盤をひっくり返そう。
Really? You don't say.
この物語を俺側からじゃなく、お前側からの目線で物語をそして今度こそお前を理解しよう。そしてお前の心臓にたどり着く。
How romantic.
痛みなんか感じさせない。安心しろ。あの魔女どものおもちゃになどもうこれ以上させないからな。
Beato looked up at me again and gave a small nod. That's right. The position of Game Master might have been snatched up by Lambda Delta. However, as long as I continued this contest with the intent of fighting against Beato, our fight will continue no matter who controls the game board. Very soon, the curtain will rise on our game. Where there will apparently be a 19th person on the island, after all.
今年の親族会議でも親方様の秘密を隠さねばならん。
はい。心得ております。
同じ手がもう一度通じるか疑問だな。
奥様も同じご懸念を持たれている。そのため今年は書斎から一切お出にならない方向で行くことになった。
つまりずっと書斎にこもられていることにするというわけですか？
うん。そして書斎に入ることが許されているのは、
himself?
我ら三人、片翼の翼を許された使用人だけだ。
ということは、僕たち三人で親方様の嘘を突き通さなくちゃならないわけか。
そうだ。親族の方々は親方様の具合や機嫌などを問い詰めてくるだろう。よどみなく答え、不審に思われることがなきよう注意するように。
はい、心得ました。
姉さんはすぐドジるからな。むしろ当日は風邪か何か理由をつけて欠席した方がいいんじゃない？
そんなひどい。
Cannon wasn't just making fun of her. He only wanted to release Shannon from the burden of working on this most serious of days.
源氏様、 シャノンがシフトに入る必要はないのでは。僕たちだけで十分やります。
ジョージ。
それはできん。奥様から我ら3人は必ずシフトに入るようにとの言命だ。
はい、やり遂げる覚悟です。
どじらないでよ。
どじりません。
Canon grew sullen and Canon shrugged, and Genji told them that they weren't taking this seriously enough.
シャノン、カノン、すでにお仕えする親方様はお亡くなりになっている。しかし本当の意味でお亡くなりになるまで我らの奉仕は続く。あの書斎は無人ではない。今なお親方様がおられ、日々の研究に勤しまれているのだ。それを深く心得よ。
はい、源氏様。
I think on that note, I'll be ending it there for today. It seems you've got new.
お父様がすでに亡くなっている。
Well, that will be an interesting start to next part. I hope you've all enjoyed. Let me know any feedback you have in the comments. And until next time, see ya.